Hello everyone, welcome to the video. And today we're going to be talking about the best Ergo farm in Lies of P. This is without a doubt the best. I haven't seen anyone even come close to this. The only problem is it is very late game. I do have one that's a lot earlier game that gives you about 180,000, but obviously it doesn't even come near this one because this one is over 360,000. I already know people are going to steal this video, so just know that this is the original. And if you guys found this video helpful, make sure to drop a like on the video and a sub to the channel. I make a lot of Lies of P content. There's also a lot to unpack here, so make sure you stay around for the entire video because I have a lot to talk about how to do this as efficient as possible, as well as a full breakdown on how you're getting this much Ergo in general. So the first thing you're obviously going to do is come to the Arch Abbey Broken Rift. Like I said, this is very late in the game, but you really can't argue with the amount of Ergo that you get from it. So essentially, you're just going to follow the path that I'm on now. You're going to get aggro from this big guy. And then once I get his aggro, you don't want to run directly past him. The reason for this is because he can lose aggro, and you really want him to fight the big puppet. That's another thing you are going to need. You will need, without a doubt, the maxed out Pandemonium. With the maxed out Pandemonium, you're shaving 15 seconds minimum off each run, so you're definitely going to want to have that. But essentially, after you pull his aggro, you are going to want to run behind the other carcass and backstab him. It's very important you backstab him because that gives the big puppet that's going to run down the stairs, that gives him a chance of just walking right by you and going directly towards the other big guy. After that, you just run past him and run up the stairs. Up the stairs, there'll be another one of those big guys who you're going to want to pull aggro. You're just going to want to peek through the door, grab his aggro, and then run back down. Once you get back down, you are just going to spam your Pandemonium in a straight line. You're going to spam it until you literally can't anymore, and you're just going to want to make sure that these guys are fighting in it because then it will explode and it staggers them and you're able to do tons of damage to all of them at once. Now the puppet will be fighting these guys this entire time, and typically he will lose because there's two of those big guys, and that's why in the beginning I throw that first initial strip, because that big guy will walk in it and it reduces his health and gives him the acid proc, which allows him to tick a little bit more and allows them to all kind of die at the same exact time. So now that you guys understand exactly how you're going to do this, now I'm just going to talk about how we got to the 360,000 number. So, by just killing these 4 enemies right here, you are going to receive 5,818 Ergo. In 1 hour, if done pretty much perfectly, you are going to get around 180,000 just for killing these enemies. That's not where a lot of the Ergo comes from, however. That's where about half of it comes from, but basically all 4 of these enemies have a really good chance of also dropping Ergo chunks. As you can see in the second run I'm doing, 3 of the enemies actually drop these resplendent Ergo chunks. I think one of them actually just drops a shard, but nevertheless, these chunks are an extra 3,000 Ergo apiece. So from the second run alone, just by getting those 2 resplendent Ergo chunks, my total Ergo for that run went all the way up to 11,818. And I ran this for about 10 minutes just to show you guys exactly how much I got. And you can look at the beginning of the video and the end of the video just to see exactly what I ended up with. I ended up having 5 resplendent Ergo chunks, 4 radiant Ergo chunks, and 6 resplendent Ergo fragments. And so after I used all of those, I ended up at 212,000 Ergo. I started the video at 151,000. That was 10 minutes of farming. So for some easy math, we'll say 210,000 minus 150,000, you get 60,000 Ergo every 10 minutes. Multiply that by 6, and you have 360,000 Ergo an hour. It's also important to note that in the first run, I didn't loot any of the bodies, and there were 2 glowing bodies. So there's a chance at 2 extra Ergo chunks just on those bodies alone, so the number could be much higher. As well as that 360,000 does account for mistakes. I made 1 mistake run where I messed up and died. So this 360,000 number isn't even optimized. This is actually just a realistic view of how this farm is actually going to perform in 1 hour. And like I said, in that hour, that's going to account for 6 mistakes and 6 runs where you don't loot bodies because of how poorly I did the runs in that 10 minutes. But that's pretty much it for me today. So if you guys enjoyed this video or found it helpful, make sure to drop a like. It would help me out so much and I would really appreciate it. But that's pretty much it for me. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.